What's going on, guys? And today we're going to be looking at my Premier League predictions for the 2016 to 2017 season. Now, I just want to say before the video starts, it might seem slightly out of sync because I'm not recording it directly off my PC. I'm just going to be syncing it up with the original video, but let's get straight into this. So obviously, as you know, Chelsea won the league. Hull, Middlesbrough and Sunderland got relegated. So we're going to start from the bottom, work our way up, and let's see what I predicted. Straight into this. So my bottom three, it's quite hard to decide because there are quite a lot of, pretty much everyone are signing really good players at the moment. Okay, so I actually predicted rock bottom of the league was going to be Hull. So that wasn't too bad. They did get relegated. Obviously, they didn't finish 20th. They finished 18th. And I predicted Sunderland to finish, Burnley to get relegated as well. They actually had a decent season. They finished 16th. Obviously, it wasn't amazing. But they're only a point away from, 13th. So they did all right. And then Sunderland I also predicted to go down. That's 18th. Again, they were in the relegation zone, so 2 out of 3 to get relegated, not too bad. Obviously, they're in the wrong positions, but I think I'll take a win on that one. Down from relegation, and then 17th to 14th, I've got coming in at 17th. I've got West Brom, narrowly missing out on the relegation zone. Okay, so we'll just do, obviously you can see from 17th to 10th, but we'll just kind of take it team by team. So from 17th to 15th, I predicted West Brom 17th, Bournemouth 16th, which is a very, very bad prediction, and then 15th, Watford. So as you have a look at the table, 17th was Watford, so that wasn't too bad. They obviously I predicted them 15th, only 2 places out. They had a really good season, especially for Bournemouth. I'm from Bournemouth, so it was nice to see them do well. I don't really support them, but obviously to see my local team do really well was pretty impressive, and they were only lost out on 8 from goal difference, so they had a really, really good season, to be fair to them. Not the best, West Brom as well. They had a really decent season for West Brom. They finished 10th, so I'd say those next 3 predictions weren't very good. West Brom and Bournemouth majorly overperforming my predictions, but I don't know, Bournemouth surprised me because they don't have the best team in the world, but they just play really well. Obviously Eddie Howe has a big influence on that, which is why he's so highly rated, but yeah, definitely take the L on those 3 suggestions. Have quite a few good players. They have obviously Troy Deeney, who scored quite a few goals last season. They have, I don't remember the fucking team, but I don't think that they'll be anywhere near the relegation zone come the end of the season. 14th is going to be Middlesbrough. Obviously I'm not saying they're definitely going to finish there, but I feel like they're going to be the lower end of the mid-table because they've made quite a few good signings. I do rate their business in the transfer season so far. Alright, so the next 3 teams is the 14th to 12th basically. So in 14th I had Middlesbrough down, so that one was again pretty bad. The main reason I put them down so highly was because I think the first 3 games they went undefeated or something like that. I can't exactly remember, but I know they started off really well, and they obviously signed Negredo, who still had a decent season, but obviously he was really good at Valencia. He was decent at City, so I thought he might be able to carry them. Then they signed Valdez, who's obviously proven himself at Barcelona. Didn't do very great at Standard Liège or United, but he's still a good keeper, so that's why I put him down there. The next one I predicted Swansea. I predicted them to finish 13th, so that one wasn't too bad because they obviously finished 15th. So 2 points out, not the worst. And then the final one is Crystal Palace, who finished 12th. Again, not the worst prediction. They finished 14th in real life, so not the worst prediction, not the best, but again, I'd say for those next 3 ones, probably give myself about a C, but let's move on. 11th, I have Southampton, which is probably quite surprising, but they have lost quite a few players over the past couple of years. So we'll finish off the first half of the table with 11th and 10th, so I put Southampton down as 11th. I got a little bit of stick from Brad Owen. You guys might know Owen. His brother is a Southampton fan, and they obviously did a little bit better than that. They managed to finish 8th. So credit to them, and obviously credit to Brad as well, because he did kind of roast me a little bit for that. The main reason I put them so low down is just because you'll see my predictions higher up. I've obviously thought Leicester were going to do a little bit better this year. West Ham, I think I put a little bit higher up because they did really well last season. So you can understand, but obviously I didn't do very well. Then Stoke, I predicted 10th. They obviously finished a little bit lower down in 13th. So again, those 2 predictions weren't the worst, weren't the best though. But yeah, let's move on. Also, one thing I will say about Southampton, I did say it in this video as well, they did lose Coman that season. He obviously came to Everton, which obviously proved really well for us. We managed to finish 7th, so I thought that was going to be another reason they wouldn't do quite as well as they have been doing. So yeah, I just want to throw that out there. 8th, very controversial, but I've actually put Leicester. I put them in 8th because they do have quite a few good players. They've had pretty good transfer season. They've signed, yeah, they got Faguli on a free. They got Gokhan. Okay, so we'll do we'll just do all of them. So as you can see, I predicted Leicester 9th. That was, it was an okay prediction. I obviously predict they're going to do a lot worse than what they did the season before, because they obviously won the league, but they managed to finish 12th, and it was looking like they were going to get relegated to 1 point. So that prediction wasn't great. It was only 3 out, but I kind of did see that Leicester weren't going to do as well as last year. So I'll take okay points on that. West Ham was a pretty bad prediction. I predicted them 8th. Like I said, at the time they still had Payet. They signed Faguli, who was looking like he was going to do amazing for them. Can't remember who else they signed. They signed a few decent players, and it was looking like they were going to have a really good season, but they just didn't really turn up. They obviously lost Payet in the winter transfer window, so they didn't really do very well. They finished 11th, so again, it was only 3 or 4 points out, but it wasn't the best prediction. Now Everton. Obviously, being an Everton fan, I managed to get this one exactly perfect. We finished 7th, and I predicted us to finish 7th, so I'm pretty proud of myself with predicting where we'd finish. Like I said, I think we finished like 10th or 11th the season before, but we just signed Coman, who was obviously going to be a huge improvement on Martinez, who was just doing awful for us apart from his first season. Then we signed a few other players like Balassi. I really like Balassi. He got injured really early on, which is a shame, but obviously I was happy about that. We signed Williams as well, who's been really good for us. Idrissa Gana Gueye, I didn't even know who he was before we signed him, but he's been absolutely incredible. Like, on paper, he's been just as good as Kante, but obviously Kante's obviously a lot better. Obviously not quite as good as I wanted to do, but I'm still happy with how we finished. Now Liverpool, this was a pretty bad prediction. I predicted them 6th. Obviously a little bit of bias, because obviously I'm an Everton fan, don't really like Liverpool. They managed to finish 4th, sorry. So it was only 2 points out, but obviously those 2 points are the difference between Champions League and Europa League, so it wasn't a great prediction, but let's move on. If I put Spurs, which a lot of people, especially Spurs fans, would be angry to hear, I'd put Chelsea in at 4th. I feel like out of all the teams, considering how the transfer window may go, I put Chelsea in 4th because I feel like with a few signings, the other teams will be a lot better than them. Put down Arsenal for 3rd. Okay guys, so the final 5 is where my predictions start getting really messy, like really bad. Not as in, obviously it's only a few points out, but obviously the points are quite defining. So in 5th I put Topsman. In 5th I put Spurs. Yeah, they finished 2nd, had a really good season, to be fair to them. Kane did incredible, managed to steal Golden Boot from Lukaku on the last couple of days, which was a bit of a shame. Dele Alli got Young Player of the Year. He had an insane season. I heard Wanyama was doing insane. Son obviously had a ridiculous season. So Alderweireld as well, Vertonghen. So yeah, it was. They did a lot better than I predicted they do. 4th place, I predicted Chelsea. Main reason I predicted Chelsea is because I don't think they particularly signed anyone massive. Off the top of my head, I don't think they really signed anyone. I think they signed They signed Kante, who was obviously, I mean, I didn't think Kante would do as good as he did this year. To be fair, I didn't think Kante would do it as well this year as he did last year, which is why I didn't really rate that signing that much. But obviously they signed Marcos Alonso as well, who had a really good season for Chelsea. But yeah, I just didn't expect Kante to do as well as he did for Chelsea, and they didn't make like huge name signings, unlike City and United, which is why I put them so high up. But obviously they won the league, so that was a pretty bad prediction. Arsenal I put in third. They finished fifth. They missed out on Champions League for the first time, I believe, in Premier League history. So that was a pretty bad. See you later.
My card? No. I'm about to get Bobby from me again if you don't mind.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, I'll give you a shout anyway.
Alright, see ya. Mum's right. And then yeah, Arsenal obviously predicting them third. I thought they'd have a really good season because they signed Xhaka, who I really liked. I used to use him on Football Manager a lot, and he was so good. I saw him score quite a few long shots in real life, and he was supposed to be a really good player, which is obviously why they paid like 30 million for him, whatever it was. So I was surprised that he didn't really turn up for them. They just didn't really have a really good season throughout the whole thing. I thought Sanchez and Ozil would do enough to carry them, but obviously it just wasn't enough. Predictions. I mean, the City one's not too bad. It's the winner I predicted. But yeah, let's have a look at who I predicted. And what I've gone and done, mainly because of the recent signings, is I've put Manchester City in second and Manchester United in first. So yeah, guys, as you can see, I predicted Manchester City to finish second and Manchester United to finish first. Now, there's many reasons for why I predicted them both to finish too highly. Now, first of all, Manchester City, predicting them second was justified because obviously they have Pep Guardiola, who they just signed. They spent like 300 million on signings like Sane, for example. They signed Stones. Obviously, I don't want to get into like a debate, but Stones isn't very good, is he? But at the time, I thought Stones was going to be a decent signing for them. But I was obviously much more happy with 50 million than Stones. But yeah, they signed a lot of players. Gabriel Jesus as well, who obviously, I think he wasn't allowed to leave until the Brazilian league finished. But yeah, they had made a lot of signings, a lot of good signings as well. So I thought they'd do a lot better than they did. But still, only one place missed. I predicted them second. They finished third and wasn't too bad. Now, Manchester United is obviously where I had a bit of a shocker. They finished sixth, which is a whole 5 positions lower than where I predicted them, and considering I predicted them first place and they managed to finish sixth, didn't even get well, they did get Champions League football because of Europa League, but they didn't get in a Champions League spot in the league. That was a woeful prediction, and obviously there's many reasons again why I predicted them finishing first. First of all, they had Mourinho, proven manager at Real Madrid, Chelsea, even Porto. I think he won the Champions League with Porto, which is mental. And then they obviously brought in a lot of big names. Pogba, first of all. If anyone before this season would have thought Pogba would absolutely tear up the league, realistically, apart from like Chelsea fans saying, oh, he's going to be shit, because obviously they were jealous. But yeah, Pogba still had a good season. It's just that obviously they paid so much for him. But I rate Pogba a lot. I think he's really good, and for that reason I thought he was going to do a lot better, and just basically put Manchester United back into first place. Zlatan, obviously, proven goal scorer everywhere he's gone. He did really well in this league as well. Obviously, maybe not as good as a lot of people thought he'd do, but he still did really, really well considering his age as well. What, 35 is he? So yeah, fair play to him. It was just going to be a really, really good mix of players and manager to just basically help them win the league. Obviously, that didn't happen. They did much, much worse. One of the worst seasons they've had in recent history. But I guess they did really well in the other cups, so they had a decent season. But in terms of Premier League predictions, I did really, really bad. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it for the video. I'm just going to have a look at comments. I will screenshot it and put it on the screen quickly, but I thought it was interesting that the least knowledgeable YouTuber in the world, no offense Max, but I know he'll take that, Kazelix just said, nice man, I seriously don't think we'll finish top 4 this season unless we do something different because our performance against Liverpool was just depressing. Now, Max doesn't actually watch or really support Arsenal anymore, but it was quite interesting that he managed to, I guess, predict that they wouldn't finish top 4, which is quite interesting because obviously they finished top 4 every single season they've been in the Prem. So yeah, that's quite an interesting comment. And overall, I think I did okay. If you guys watched Spencer's video, he gave himself, I think, a B+. So judging off that, I'd probably give myself a D, mainly because I just got the league winner and Manchester United so badly, because I think apart from that, they were okay to predictions. I got 2 out of the 3 relegation candidates right. But I put Chelsea in 4th and United in 1st, which is really bad. But let me know what you guys think. Let me know what grade you give me. Like Spencer said, I'd probably give myself about a D, maybe a C-. But my top 5 was just so bad. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, leave it a like. I will be doing my Premier League predictions again, probably. I'll wait till like the transfer season's actually started, so it won't be for a few months now, probably like 3 months. But yeah, it was interesting to do, and obviously it's nice to go back and have a look at how I thought the league would turn out and how it actually turned out, because it's never going to really turn out the way that I predicted, because otherwise I'd be making loads of money from predictions. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, leave it a like, subscribe if you're new around here, of course, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Hope you have a great day, and yeah, peace.